Very good morning, all of you. The session will start in 5 minutes. We shall wait for 5 more minutes. Some more participants are yet to join. We will start the session in 5 minutes.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, session started. Hello.
Minutes
Okay,
will
ma'am.
start the session. Uh, A very good morning, all of you. We welcome all the participants to the 1 week faculty program on review and revision in processing, organized by the Department of IT, organized by in Coimbatore. We welcome to the second day of this 1 week faculty development program. Before starting the second day session, I would like to ensure all the participants whether they will be able to access the chat box, because in between, if you want any question is asked, you will be able to type your answers, send your answers in the chat box. If anybody is not able to access the chat box, please let us know. In your monitor or in your mobile, the top right corner, you will see the text message icon. So when you click, you will be able to see all the messages which we are sending, and you can also reply by then. So if anybody is not able to access the chat box, you can just
Chat
inform.
box is unavailable, ma'am.
Chat box is not available. Professor Anand, can you help them? Okay, in that case, I'm asking you all to use the chat box only for answering one or two my questions. So in that case, you can then that time alone, you can just unmute your mic and you can speak. That's it. I hope you're all, my voice is audible to everyone. If anybody is not able to hear the voice, you can just tell me. We are going to start the session. Thank you all. So we shall start the day 2, image restoration and image denoising. Let me, yesterday itself, our convener and our HOD introduced all the team members. Our team members headed by Dr. R.S. Sabinian, the head of the department, Department of ECE, Sona College of Technology, and I am R. Gayatri. Then Professor Shanti, Professor Anand, and one more industrial person, Divakar Kanagaraj. He will join in the 5th day of the session. I'm Dr. R. Gayatri, working in the Department of ECE. I'm having almost 20 years of teaching experience. This is my 21st year. I'm specialized in digital image processing and communication systems. I'm very happy to handle the session, image restoration and image denoising. I must thank all the participants for joining us. So yesterday, in the first session, Sir has informed, Sir has briefly told all the fundamentals and the basics of digital image processing. What are all the techniques involved in accessing the digital image processing? Everything he has told. Now, I want to ask a question. What is the difference between image enhancement and image restoration? Yesterday, Sir told very clearly about enhancement and the restoration. My topic is image restoration and image denoising. So before getting into the session, we must know very clearly about what is the difference between image enhancement and image restoration. So for you to understand better way, so this is image enhancement. So we will have the picture which has been blurred. Actually, the picture is not degraded by some other external noise or something else. The picture, due to some other poor illumination or whatever may be the other criteria, we are just boosting the intensity of the picture. So this is called the image enhancement. So the input will be somewhat due to the illumination processes, the picture will be very dull. So we are just boosting the intensity. This is called the image enhancement, where we go for the image restoration. So the image restoration will be degraded by the noise. It can be blurred. It can be some other scratches, whatever it may be. Some external factors would be affecting the image. So we will be able to restore, getting back the original information from the degraded image. So I hope you understand the difference between enhancement and restoration. Enhancement is just boosting the image from the boosting the intensity of the image. Restoration is recovering the original information original image from the degraded image. So now we can go get into the session. What is the image restoration? Of course, as I have told you earlier, image restoration will be recovering the original information. The main thing is it is totally different from image enhancement. It is more objective. The main process, we have to preserve all the information which are available in the image. So my topic is image restoration as well as image denoising. So many of you may think image restoration and image denoising, both are the same. There's a slight difference. Most in all the applications we used to say either image restoration or image denoising. Of course, both are the same, but there is a slight difference. Image restoration is restoring the image from any kind of degraded image like noise, blurring, scratches, or whatever may be the deformed or degraded image. So we need to retrieve the image from any form of degraded image. That is called image restoration. And image denoising is restoring the image only from the image which is being corrupted by the noise. So this is the fundamental difference between image restoration and image denoising. Both will go hand in hand. We will see then and there both the image denoising techniques as well as the image restoration technique. So here comes the noise model. We will have the f of x comma y. The f of x comma y will be the input image, and the noise eta x comma y will be the noise added to it, and the output is g of x comma y. So we will take g of x comma y as the degraded image. When we add the noise to the original image, we will be getting the degraded image. In this degradation model, for any process, image degradation restoration process, we will have to define the image degradation model. Are you all able to see the slide? Professor Anand?
No, yours is not. You are not visible, ma'am.
Here also it is not visible. I think somebody took control of it.
Ma'am, we could not access chat box also now.
Yeah, you can, that time you can unmute and you can speak, ma, no issues. So I request Professor Shanti, please take care there. Anybody not to take any control.
Now your first slide is visible, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm moving because I'm presenting. If others are taking control, then the slide will go off. Okay, thank you. We were talking about the image degradation model. We have the f of x comma y. There is a degradation function, and when we add the noise, we will get the noisy image g of x comma y, and there is a restoration filter. From the restoration filter, we will be getting the estimate of image. So you can see the input as well as the output. Input is f of x comma y and output is f cap of x comma y. You can see the output f cap of x comma y should be almost equivalent to f of x comma y. That will be our objective. That is our goal of getting this. So we will have input f of x comma y, a degradation function, and after the degradation function is represented by h of x comma y. It is mentioned in both spatial domain as well as the frequency domain. It is given as h of x comma y, and the noise is added to the image, that is represented as eta of x comma y. So g of x comma y is the degraded image. Then we will apply the restoration filters to get the estimate of the image. So almost the f cap of x comma y should be equivalent to f of x comma y. There are two types of domains by which we can access the processes. Spatial domain as well as the frequency domain. In the spatial domain, it is represented as g of x comma y, which is equal to h of x comma y, that is convoluted with f of x comma y plus the noise. In the frequency domain, it is x and y, the constant, the values are changed as u comma v, g of u comma v, which is equal to h of u comma v, f of u comma v plus eta of u comma v. So thereby we can represent the corresponding matrix also. So we are going to see the different types, the processes by which we can have the degradation, how we can estimate the degradation model. There are three types of estimating the degradation model. One is by observation, second one is by experimentation, third is by mathematical modeling. So with the help of these three techniques, we can estimate the degradation model, because only when we know the degradation model, what is the function, degradation function, we will be able to restore the image. So the first one is the observation. So taking the observation, the degraded function will not be known to us. So we will be attempting by observing, we will try to get the value of g of x comma y, and we will estimate the degraded function by using the simpler structure. The same structure we will be using. See, you can see here in the first picture and second picture, the similar structure we will be obtaining, and there will be a similar pattern for that particular image. So for g of x comma y should be approximately equal to the g of u comma v, comparing to the spatial domain as well as the frequency domain. By observing the details, we will select the degradation function h of u comma v is equal to g of u comma v by f of u comma v, where g of u comma v is the degraded function, f of u comma v is the original information. So by having this formula, h is equal to g by f, by having this formula, we can retrieve the, we can calculate the degradation function. See here, we can see the first picture is g of x comma y, the second picture is f of x comma y. So from this, we will estimate the Fourier frequency domain representation g of u comma v, and here we will represent f of u comma v, the frequency domain representation. Then we will be having the degradation function h of u comma v is equal to g by h. So this is the steps involved in the observation, and the second is using experimentation. For experimentation, we will be imaging the setup similar to the original impulse response. So either impulse response or the impulse simulation, any function will be taken into consideration. By continuously checking, by continuously training, we will try to find out the degradation function. So which is almost equivalent to the result of the degradation function. So that will be considered in the experimentation. Here, we will be considering the f of u comma v as a constant. So with respect to the same formula, by detailed list of training and testing, we will calculate the degradation function h of u comma v equal to g of u comma v by a, where a is the f of u comma v, which we have already assumed as a. And the third one is the mathematical modeling. The mathematical modeling is, if we know the turbulence value, see, we all know very well the degradation function can be represented as h of x comma y in spatial domain, h of u comma v in the frequency domain. So the h of u comma v can be mathematically modeled as e power minus 2k u square plus v square, the whole power 5 by 6. So we know the u comma v are the parameters constraints in the frequency domain representation, and k is the nature of turbulence. Now we can see in the picture shown in the slide, when there is no turbulence, when the k value is very, very negligible, the picture is clear. We can see when the value k value is 0.001, then it is called the mid turbulence. The picture is somewhat affected. The image is affected. Then you can see the low turbulence, k is equal to 0.00025, and the picture is clear compared to 0.001. Then going to the severe turbulence, k is equal to 0.0025. You can see when the turbulence is affecting the picture image, the image is not clear. So this is how, with respect to the turbulence value, atmospheric turbulence value, whether the image is blurred or not, then we will calculate the degradation function. Once the degradation function is known, we will be able to restore the image out of it. I hope in this case, I just want to ask some of the questions to the participants. I request all of you, please come to the chat box. If anybody is not able to access the chat box, you can unmute and tell your answers, one or two answers. The first question is, I hope you all listened carefully. The first question for the participants: removing the noise from degraded image. I'm going to remove the noise from the degraded image. Whether this is called enhancement or restoration. You can answer in the chat box.
Restoration, ma'am.
Very good. Very good. I got the answer. Anybody others, you can also write in the chat box. If you're not accessible, then you can unmute the mic. So removing the noise from the degradation, pre-degraded image is called a restoration. It is not enhancement. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Then I'm going to give you one value, one expression. You have to name the expression. H of x comma y. What is h of x comma y? What is the name of h of x comma y? You can also write in the chat box. I'm going through the chat box. I'm not getting any answer from the chat box. What is h of x comma y? You can also unmute and tell your answers. Anyone? We had three representations. One is f of x comma y, other one is g of x comma y, and third one is h of x comma y. F of x comma y is the input image. G of x comma y is the degraded image. Now we can say what is h of x comma y. By giving f of x comma y through h of x comma y, we will be getting g of x comma y. So what is h
Degradation function, ma'am.
Very good, very good. H of x comma y is the degradation function. I hope everyone is able to access the chat box. If you're not able to unmute, you can answer in chat box also. Thank you. Then third question is, there were three types of estimating the degradation function. I was just telling the three types of estimating the process of estimating the degradation function. The first one is observation. The second one is experimentation. And you say the third one? First is observation. The second is experimentation. What would be the third one? If you can see the slide and you can answer. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for the answers. So there are three types of processing. Thank you so much, ma'am. Observation, experimentation, and mathematical modeling. So these are the three ways by which we can estimate the degradation function. Thank you. Thank you for all your attractive participation. Now we'll move on to the noises and images. So we know very well because this special knowledge is not required for knowing about the noises in the images. The noises are introduced in the images due to many reasons. Due to the image acquisition, when we get the image, when we get the image from the camera, from the video, the noise will be introduced because of the poor illumination, because of high temperature, because of the transmission error like electronic circuit noise, because of the analog to digital conversion errors, bit transmission error. All these reasons are encountered for creating a noise. So during acquisition, during transmission, the noise will be introduced in the image. So our aim is to find what is the need for image denoising, why we want to go for image restoration. When you have the degraded image, it is not applicable for further advanced image processing techniques. We have image segmentation, image compression, image feature recognition, object recognition. Lot of advanced techniques are there. So when you have in your hand the degraded image, noisy image, those applications, those processes cannot be 100% successful. So we want to restore the image from the degraded image. We have to remove the noise. So this is what our aim. The main goal of the image denoising is first you have to remove the noise, but by removing the noise, you should not lose the information available in the image. So there are three goals. One is to remove the noise. Second one is you need to preserve the useful information. So you can see the picture noisy image. When you apply the denoising technique, you will be getting the original image recovered back almost close to the original information. Again, I am repeating, there are two goals of the denoising. One is removing noise. The second one is preserving the useful information. So taking into consideration, the picture shows, already we have seen in the image degradation model, the LENA image is shown. If you take the input image as X and noise as N, when the noise is added to the image, you can see the output image Y, which is the added noise in the image. So Y is equal to X plus N. Now we will be applying some image denoising technique and we'll be getting the original image, which is called X cap. I have already told you X cap is the estimation of the original information. It should be close to the original image. So X cap is the estimate of the input image. Now, when you remove from the output, from the Y output image, when you remove the estimate of information, then the remaining will be noise. So this is what the picture is informing us. Then we are going to study the different types of noise models, because we should know the prior knowledge of what types of noises are available. So for that, we need to know what type of noises are available. So there are two types of noise models. One is additive noise model. The other one is multiplicative noise model. In the additive noise model, the noise is added to the original image. In the multiplicative noise model, you can see the representation. S of x comma y is multiplied with n of x comma y. So you can use any kind of representations for representing image, noise, and the degraded images. So you must be knowing the difference between noise, additive noise model and multiplicative noise model. So according to the density of the noise, the image will be corrupted or affected by the noise. Now we are seeing the noise models and their probability density function. This is very, very important, because without knowing what kind of noise is affected in the image, we cannot retrieve the information. So according to the noise affected, we have to apply the suitable filter for retrieving the original information. So here we have the different types of noise models. The first one is Gaussian noise model. The second one is a Rayleigh noise model. Then Erlang noise model, which is also called as the gamma noise. And the fourth one is exponential. Then the uniform noise and the impulse noise. So the different types of noises will occur, as I have told earlier, due to the poor elimination. Mainly the Gaussian noise will be occurring due to the poor illumination, high temperature, transmission errors, electronic circuit errors, like that. Then we all know about the Rayleigh distribution due to the propagation, and in X-ray image, the Poisson noise will be available, the gamma distribution, which is happening naturally, then exponential noise, uniform noise, the salt and pepper noise, which is the part of the impulse noise, that will be occurring due to the bit transmission error. You must be seeing in the old televisions, the monitor display, you will see some black and white dots. So those will be due to the bit transmission errors. Those are called, am I able to, am I audible? Professor Shanti, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you. So the salt and pepper noise will be mainly due to the bit transmission errors, so which we were seeing in the old televisions with the black and white dots. Now, the impulse noise is further, it is divided into two types: the fixed valued impulse noise and random valued impulse noise, which I was telling you about the fixed valued impulse noise, which is otherwise called the salt and pepper noise, which will be having fixed values, some 0 and 255. So if it is 0 value, that is called the pepper noise. If it is 255, that is called the salt noise. And whereas when you go for the random value noise, where they will not have any particular value, fixed value, from 0 to 255, any random value they will be having. But in practical cases, random value noise is very difficult to remove. Now we are seeing the histogram value. Yesterday sir was telling about the histogram is the pictorial representation of how many pixels are available for the particular gray value. See, I can say for that particular 64 is the one gray level value. For that, how many pixels are available? Then for 128, that may be one value. For that, how many pixels are available? So for each and every value, how many number of pixels are available? So that you can plot in a graph, that is called the histogram. Histogram is very, very useful for calculating the estimating the image, by which we can denoise the image. So when we have the original image, you can see how the histogram is available. Now, what are all the image noise models which we have seen? Let us see the histogram for various noise models. So here comes the second, first one, we see the original image. The second one is the, first one is the Gaussian noise. You can see the below histogram value for the Gaussian noise. The second one is the Rayleigh noise distribution, and see the histogram distribution. Third one is the gamma noise, can see the histogram distribution. So the first horizontal things are the noisy models, and below pictures are representing their corresponding histogram values. Now we can see the exponential noise, uniform noise, salt and pepper noise, and their corresponding histogram values. So now we see the different types of noise models. Now what is the need of, how are we going to retrieve the original image from the noise? So there comes the need of filters. Why we need the filters? So when we have the filters, obviously the noise will be removed. Our aim is to remove the noise which is disturbing us, and we have to get back the original information. So this picture will explain you. We want to remove the noise, how powerful the filter is to remove the noise. I hope you would have understood. And I want to have one more picture for you. So having a noisy signal. When you have a filter, there is a need of a
Wait, ma'am.
filter.
Excuse me, ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Your voice is little noisy, ma'am.
Is it clear now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so from this, you can see the noisy signal is recovered by applying the filter. So we want to get the final image, clear image from the noisy information. So here you can see the denoising methods. It is broadly classified as the spatial domain and the frequency domain techniques. When we see the spatial domain techniques, again further it is divided as the linear filter and non-linear filter. Under linear filter, we have mean filter and weighted median filter. Under non-linear filter, we have the median filter and some more filters. In the frequency domain, we will be using low pass filter for applying the Fourier transform. Usually, we will use fast Fourier transform. Now, the spatial domain, how it is, spatial domain is otherwise the time domain representation. In normal communication, we say as a time domain representation. In image processing, we will say as the spatial domain. So we will give input image, we will do some processing spatial domain techniques, filtering techniques, then we will be getting the output. In the frequency domain, we will apply the Fourier transform. We'll convert the spatial signal into image into the frequency domain. Then we will do some processing. Then we will apply the inverse transformation because we want to get back the original image. So these are all the process happening in the frequency domain. So now as per classification, when we take the linear filters, main aim is to remove the noise. They are very simple. But they will be providing the smoothing operation. So the blurring effect will be more. So when we apply the blurring, when we apply the smoothing of the smoothing throughout the image, the blurring operation will be there. So the median mean filters are very important as far as the linear filters are considered. We have, as I have told you, we have the advantages as well as the disadvantage of the mean filter. The advantages, it is very easy and it will remove the impulse noise. It's very important for the impulse noise. And the disadvantages, of course, it will not completely preserve the edges. So it will blur the image. Then the mean filter. So this is how the operation will be. When we have the image starting with the 140, when we want to apply, yesterday sir told you how the processing will be done from left to right, from top to bottom. We will be applying the mask. Here the red color triangle will show you the mask. So if I want to change the, I want to replace the value 4, then what I have to do, I have to apply the mask in the by keeping 4 as the center pixel. So I have to apply the mask here. If I don't have the value, pixel values upside the 140, again that will be replicated 140. Then you can apply this according to the mean filter. Everything will be added together. And what is the total number of pixels available? Total number of pixels is 9. You can just zoom out and you can zoom in and you can see the average value is given as 1 plus 4 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4. So everything is added and it is divided by the total number of pixels, 9. So the output value will be rounded off to get the value 2. So the value, the pixel 4 will be replaced by 2. So this process will be continued from left to right, top to bottom in the mean filter. So when we apply the mean filter, automatically we can see here in this picture, it shows very clearly out of the big image, a portion of the image, 3x3 image is taken into consideration. And for this, it is applied for the filter. Instead of having each and every pixel 1/9, 1/9, we can have a mask with 1/9 because we are going to consider 3x3 mask. Totally 9 pixels are there, 9 components are there. So each and everything can be multiplied with 1/9. So in that case, 104 into 1/9, then 100 into 1/9 plus 108 into 1/9. Like that, the process will be done. We will be getting the value. So we will be apply rounded off value. So the final value will be, the center pixel value will be replaced by the final output. This is how the mean filter will be working. So you can see the output of this mean filter. This will be the original image. First picture shows the original image, then image corrupted by Gaussian noise. Then we will be having the denoised image. Then the second type is the weighted mean filter. In the weighted mean filter, in the normal mean filter, we just had 1, 1, 1, all the pixel values, which are multiplied by 1/9. In the weighted mean filter, according to the criteria, you can either have 1 to 1. Here also you can have 1 to 1, 2, 4, 2, and 1 to 1. Like that you can have. So according to the number of values, with the component which is going to be multiplied is 1/16. Here it is, all the values are 9, so it is multiplied by 1/9. Here all the values, when you add everything, it will come to 16, so it will be multiplied by 1/16. So you can design the weighted mean filter according to where in which portion you want to retrieve the information. You can design like this. So there are different types of mean filters. I showed you the example of the weighted mean filter. We have arithmetic mean filter, which is having the formula 1/mn summation g of x comma t. This g of x comma t is the degraded image from which we will be getting the estimate of the image. So this will be arithmetic mean filter. And the next is the geometric mean filter. Arithmetic mean filter will be adding the process. Geometric mean filter will provide the product information. Then the third one will be the harmonic mean filter. You can see mn divided by the sum of 1/g of s comma t, where the value of g of s comma t is the degraded image. Then in the contra-harmonic mean filter, this is the formula. The estimation will be calculated by the sum of g of x comma t q power 1 divided by the q. The value of q is very, very important in calculating it. That is called the order of the filter, that you can adjust according to the filter's behavior. You can adjust the value of q, and this is holding good for salt and pepper noise. When the value of q is positive, then that will eliminate the pepper noise. When the value of q is negative, then that will eliminate the salt noise. So now we can see the result of the arithmetic mean filter and geometric mean filter. So the first picture is original image, second picture is corrupted by Gaussian noise, and third is the output of the arithmetic mean filter, and the fourth one is the output of geometric mean filter. Then also we have the result of contra-harmonic mean filter, the original information with the pepper noise, original image with pepper noise. Then we have the contra-harmonic filter with Q value. I told you the Q value, the order of the filter you can choose. Then that's image corrupted by salt noise. Then the value of Q for 1.5 after applying the filter, the contra-harmonic filter with Q value 1.5. So the next will be the Q value. So when we have the wrong value of Q, then the total image will be damaged. So we have to be very careful in choosing the Q value, which is the order of the filter. Now we can have a relax before going to the nonlinear filter. I wish to ask some more questions to the participants. I hope you are ready, and I hope you enjoy asking questions and answering the questions. So shall we? Here comes your first question. What are the two broad classifications of spatial domain noising techniques, denoising techniques? I have shown you the different types of image denoising techniques. What are the two types of spatial domain techniques? You can answer in the chat box. Still now I have not received any answer in the chat box. I request.
Linear and non-linear.
Very good, very good. Rajeshwari, Professor Rajeshwari has also answered linear and non-linear, and I have got one answer from our participant. Very good. Linear and non-linear are the two types. Thank you. And your second question is, when you have the types of noise models, I was explaining you the type of noise models. The one type of noise model is additive noise model. Can you tell the second type of noise model? You can type or you can unmute. Yes.
Multiplicative.
Very good. I got two answers. Very good. Professor Rajeshwari also answered multiplicative. Very good. Very good. So there were two types of noise models, additive noise model and the multiplicative noise model. Very good. Good. And I was telling the third question is, I was telling many types of the mean filters. I was telling the first general mean filter and the second one is the weighted mean filter. Then I was telling 4 different types of mean filters. So the first one was arithmetic mean, and the second one was geometric mean filter, and third one was harmonic mean filter. Can anyone name the fourth one? There were 4. Yes.
Contra harmonic.
Very good. Great, great. Contra harmonic. I got 3 answers. Very good. Professor Rajeshwari, that was contra harmonic mean. Okay, good, good. Thank you, thank you. So I hope you are all very good, very good. Thank you all for your interactive participation. Thank you. Now we will be entering into the additional nonlinear filters and additional denoising techniques. Within 10 to 15 more minutes, we will be completing the session sharply. So coming into the nonlinear filters, now median filter is one of the non-linear filters, because when we say linear and non-linear, we must have studied in our basic fundamentals. When the output is linear with respect to the input, those are called linear process, linear function. So that will be applicable here also. The output of the image, output pixels of the image will be the linear representations of the input pixels. That principle will be followed in the linear filters. So what we have seen, all the mean filters are the linear filters. Now the nonlinear filters will not the linear combination of the input pixels. So the median filter generally will arrange all the pixels available in the image in an ascending order. Then we will pick up the median value, the mid value. Then the center pixel will be replaced by the median value. So of course we can say very well that this is not a linear operation. So that's why the median filter comes under the nonlinear edges, but it can very well preserve the edges. That is the very, very big advantage of the nonlinear filters. They can preserve the edges, so you will not lose much of information. So going to the median filter, I have already explained. Median filters are very, very efficient in removing the salt and pepper noise. Salt and pepper noise are one of the types of impulse noise. Salt and pepper noise will have values 0 and 255. The other name for salt and pepper noise is the fixed noise, fixed valued impulse noise, I can call. So taking the median filter, like how we have explained the mean filter, the median filter will also have, if you have a very big image, a 3x3 image has been taken into consideration, we will arrange all the pixels in an ascending order and we will find the center pixel. So I want to replace the center pixel will be replaced by the median value. So once again, the process will be repeated from left to right, from top to bottom. I please request the participants to go for mute. Participants, please go for mute. Thank you. So this process will be repeated from left to right and the top to bottom, so as to get the replace the pixel. So we will be getting finally the original image. Degraded image will be removed noise. From the noise, then we will be getting the restored information. You can see this picture shows the original image, the picture corrupted by salt and pepper noise. Then for 20%, you can see the left hand side, the noise corrupted by 20%. The right hand side, you can see the 60% noise is corrupted. So you can see the image, we are not able to see the features, the image, what is the foreground, background, we are not able to see, only the dots, black and white dots are available. Then we can, after applying median filter, we can see we will be getting the output image almost close to the original information. So median filter does good for removing the salt and pepper noise. Then we go to the order statistic filters. We will fastly move into the order statistics filter. The median filter is also, though it comes under the nonlinear filter, it is also one of the order statistics filter, because why the name comes, we will be taking all the pixels. When we take a 3x3 or 5x5 or 7x5 image in pixel values, then the pixels are ordered according to some fashion, either ascending order or descending order, or in some other fashion, the pixels are ordered. Then the statistical values are taken into consideration to remove the noise. That's why the name is given as the order statistics filters. The main first type of order statistic filter is median filter, which we've already studied. The maximum and minimum filter, midpoint filter, and alpha trimmed mean filter. Note that the mean filter, another type of mean filter is coming under the order statistics filter here. So the median filter we've already studied. Minimum and maximum filter, I think yesterday sir has explained you, the minimum value will be replaced for a minimum filter, and the maximum filter will replace the maximum value. So here comes the expression for median filter. The estimation of f of x comma y is equal to the median of g of x comma t. The degraded image, when you find the median value, and the center pixel will be replaced by the median. When we talk about the minimum filter and maximum filter, then the degraded function, you have to take the maximum value out of the degraded image. When you take the 3x3 image, take the maximum value, and the center pixel will be replaced by the maximum value. For a minimum filter, the minimum value will be taken into consideration. That will replace the center pixel. So the midpoint filter will be the combination of minimum filter and the maximum filter. So you can say just the average function of minimum and maximum. You can see the formula also, 1/2 the maximum filter plus the minimum filter. So you can get some good average. What are the disadvantages of maximum filter and the drawbacks of minimum filter will be approximately nullified when you use the midpoint filter. Then the alpha trimmed mean filter, that we will have 1/mn minus d. So the distance, the value will be the lowest and highest, the gray level values can be considered here as the d value. Then it is the sum of g of s comma t. So this is about the alpha trimmed mean filter. You can see the result of the median filter. You can see it holds good very well for the salt and pepper noise for 3x3 median filter. Then we have for result of maximum filter and minimum filter, so corrupted by the signal image corrupted by pepper noise and salt noise. The maximum filter, you can see the maximum filter removes the pepper noise, the minimum filter removes the salt noise. Then this is the noise removal for the alpha trimmed mean filter. You can see at the last the comparison for arithmetic mean filter, geometric mean filter, median filter, and the alpha trimmed mean filter. So various filters are applied for removing the salt and pepper noise. So going to the adaptive median filter, that's the advanced type of the adaptive median filter. So we had taken only the 3x3 image or 5x5 image. Those pixels will be arranged in particular fashion. But in the adaptive median filter, it will be slightly applying a particular algorithm. So that algorithm, we will take some 2-3 criteria will be taken. One, if it is lying within this range, you can choose that criteria. And if it is lying in another range, it can go to that criteria. So yesterday this was explained, so I don't want to waste the time in explaining the adaptive median filter. We can see the image of the adaptive median filtering output for a 7x7 median filter. To some extent, it is removing the noise. You can see the value, fixing the minimum value and maximum value. You can see the output is very, very clear. So now going to the frequency domain filtering. This frequency domain, as I have told you earlier, we will be applying the Fourier transform and we will be doing the image restoration processing. Then after removing the noise, once again we will take the inverse transform, then we will be getting back the original information. So you can very well see how the filters are working. When it has a high pass filter, it will kill the low frequency. We can just interchange the filter and frequency. If it is a low pass filter, then it will not allow the high frequency. So we all know in all the different courses we have studied the filters. So we will be fixing a cutoff frequency. If it is a low pass filter, the cutoff frequency, up to the cutoff frequency, the signal will be passed. So we up to that, the low frequency components will be passed. All the high frequency components will be avoided, suppressed. If it is a high pass filter, again we'll fix the cutoff frequency. The cutoff up to that cutoff frequency, the signal will be stopped. After the cutoff frequency, the signal will be passed. So in image processing, a low pass filter will pass all the low frequency components. Slowly varying components will be passed, and the fast changing and high frequency components will be suppressed. If it is a high pass filter, all the high frequency components, edges, those components, those details will be preserved, those details will be passed, then the low frequency components will be suppressed. So in this low pass filter, applying low pass filter on Fourier transform, when you have the original information, the first picture shows the original information, then you can get the Fourier transform. So Fourier transform will give the hidden details available in the image. Then you can apply the low pass filter. Then when you take the inverse Fourier transform, you can see. So you can zoom out and you can see the no details available in the first picture. In the fourth picture, you can see what are some information available in the same place which was shown as empty in the first picture. So by applying this, somehow also you can see the noise is not available after doing all the processing. So the two processes are done here. One is removing the noise as well as preserving the information, and also what are the hidden information, everything that will also you can see by the frequency domain representations. So the next is the periodic noise, which we did not see in the types of noise, which we did not see because it's a special type of noise. The periodic noise will be arising due to the electrical or electromagnetic interference. Because of this, the periodic noise will be there. So that will give some noise patterns, lines in the rectangular horizontal lines will be available in the image, which you can see if you zoom, and you can see small lines you can see. So that is a type of periodic noise that will be arising due to the electrical or the electromagnetic interference. So when you apply the frequency domain representation, accordingly the noise will be removed. So the band reject filters will be used for the periodic noise. We all know the basic types of filters: low pass, high pass, band pass, and band reject filter. The other name of band reject filter is noise filter, band suppressing filter. That also different types of names we can give. So in the frequency domain representation, you can give a particular band of frequencies alone will be rejected. So when we calculate the value, histogram value of the noise, then you will come to know what frequency components the noise are taking. Then we can remove that particular band of frequencies alone. So you can have the h of u comma v is equal to 1 when the d of u comma v, that value will be lying. The d naught is the cutoff frequency that is lying from d of u comma v to minus w by 2. Then the second category is 0. Then you can see the center one is 0. That is the range what we are going to remove. That particular band of frequencies alone is going to be removed. So d naught minus w by 2, d naught plus w by 2. That range we are going to remove. Before that and after that, the signal will be available. The image will be available. So the frequency components less than d naught minus w by 2 will be available. Greater than d naught plus w by 2 will also be available. In between the range, the signal image will be the components will be suppressed. So this is the filter ideal band, how the band will look, and different types of filters are there. That's out of focus, the Butterworth band reject filter and the Gaussian band reject filter. You can design according to the criteria. Then the result of band reject filter will be there. So the first image shows the noisy corrupted image. Then the second is the Butterworth band reject filter. You can see the Fourier spectrum. of the corrupted image, then finally the restored image, output image which we have obtained. So before going to the advanced image restoration, again, I would like all you to assemble for answering my questions. Hope you're all ready. I was telling many types of linear, non-linear filters, and I was telling about one improved version of median filter. Can anyone answer what is the improved version of median filter? Can I get the answer in the chat box, or by unmuting the mic, you can also answer if you're good in either chat or by unmuting mic. I was telling about the improved version of median filter. Yesterday, sir also told the improved version of median filter. I want the participants to answer whether it is correct or not, because we know if it is not correct, nobody is going to tell you anything. You can just answer what is the improved version of median filter. Can I get the answer? Am I audible to everyone? Alpha trimmed mean filter. I'm getting one answer. It is a mean filter, alpha trimmed mean filter. So the name itself shows it is mean filter. I'm asking about the improved version of median filter.
Adaptive median filter.
Very good, very good. It is adaptive median filter. That is the improved version of the median filter. Thank you for the answer. Thank you for all have answered. My second question is, there is a noise which is affected by electrical and electromagnetic interference. Which noise is affected by, which noise is created due to electrical and electromagnetic? Very
Periodic
good.
noise.
Very good, very good. Good. Dr. Rajeshwari has answered periodic noise, and I got some more answers from the audience participants. Thank you. So it is periodic noise which is occurring due to the electrical and electromagnetic interference. Good. Okay. And here comes my third question. What we do in applying the frequency domain representation. When we do frequency domain representation, we will apply the low pass filter on some Fourier transform. I told a specific transform. What is the name of the transform? When we apply low pass filter, we have to apply a transform. I told a very specific name. I think only once I told a very specific name. If you can recollect, you can answer. Anyone? We have to convert from time domain into frequency domain. One very powerful transform we will apply. Yeah, that's Fourier transform. Okay. What type of Fourier transform?
Discrete Fourier transform.
I gave all the answers. I have all the clues. Yes. It's FFT. Very good. Fast Fourier transform. So that only we will be applying for the low pass filter. The many types of filters, frequency domain representations are there. For applying the low pass filter, we will apply the fast Fourier transform. Thank you so much. Thank you for your interactive answers. So we will have some more advanced image restoration also, but it is very difficult. As I told you yesterday, it is very difficult to cover all the restoration and denoising techniques. Of course, we will have the Wiener filter, inverse filter. These are all very powerful image restoration techniques are available. Constrained least square, unconstrained filters, many filters are available. But when we get into that image restoration denoising techniques, we can go on talking day 24 hours, 24/7. We can go on talk about that. That many number of filters are available. It is our aim is to make sure that what type of noise is available in the image and what kind of filter can be applied to that filter, and our aim is to get back the original information. I hope the two important things of image denoising must be remembering. First one is to remove the noise, and the second one is to preserve the original information available in the image. So which filter is correct, which filter will be acting accordingly, we have to choose that type of filter and we have to retrieve the original image out of the denoised, degraded image. So here are some of the advanced image restoration techniques: adaptive processing, spatial adaptive, frequency adaptive, and in the nonlinear processing, you can have the thresholding, iterative processing, then advanced transformation modeling, image transforms, wavelet transform, multi-resolution analysis, the statistical image modeling, then using the blind convolution. You can use many number of, which I have not listed. So many other types of image restoration techniques are also available. So we can go on talk about that. I hope you would have got some glimpses of the image restoration and image denoising. What are the differences between the image enhancement and image restoration? And what's the difference between restoration and denoising, and some types of image denoising restoration techniques. I hope this session would be useful to all of you. I thank all the participants, every one of you. You have all done a great job. It was a very, very interactive session. Thank you all. If you have any clarifications, any doubts, you can share.
Participants, if you have got any queries, you can get clarified.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Please tell me.
Ma'am, from yesterday class and today class, I have understand maximum topics related to image processing. In just beginner, yesterday itself, I just
Yeah. Yesterday also you told me. Yes. Yes.
I would like to know, ma'am, you have been applying all these mathematical model, and you just give an input image and you can applying a filter, and you can get the outputs. So
Yes.
how we are going to working this, ma'am? Just you can take any kind of filters, and how you are going to make this filter in MATLAB applications now? It's somewhat easy now, ma'am.
Yes. You have different types of tools you can use for everyone. Now everybody is using the different versions of MATLAB. You can use MATLAB, and other tools are also available. Different CVIP, Coros, many types. You can use LabVIEW. Many tools are available. Whichever is, once you learn, everything will be easy for you. You can start with MATLAB. MATLAB will be very, very user friendly. You can start with MATLAB. Then if you wish, you can go to other LabVIEW and other tools.
Ma'am, these mathematical models are applying in this tool as a function, ma'am?
No. I was telling the mathematical model is the estimation, the process of estimating the degradation function. I told you by different ways the image will be corrupted. Okay, image may be corrupted by noise, image may be corrupted by blur. When you take the image, when you take the camera image in the camera, if you shake, just to shake, what will happen? You will not get a clear image, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
the output image will be, you can say, degraded image. Then if some scratches are there, if the illumination in the background, the lighting effect is not good, then you will not get the good image. So you can say all these are the degraded images. So first you should know what is the reason for the degraded image. Once you know the degradation function, then you can apply the corresponding filter. That is what I told.
Okay, ma'am. I got clear right now. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you. Any other queries? Participants, you can also share your feedback. It's not necessary that you need to ask a question. You can also share the feedback about yesterday's session, today's session. Then and there we will finish the feedback also. If you want to share any points, you can just talk. Unmute your mic and speak. Professor Malati is there? Professor Malati, are you able to speak?
It's me, Malati. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Can you
yes,
hear me, ma'am?
Yes, Professor. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, ma'am. It's really a nice session. Even for me, The first time to attend this image processing webinar, this type of seminar.
Okay, very nice, very nice. I hope you came to, you just joined today, and with a lot of expectation you joined. I hope this session would have fulfilled your expectation, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's really nice, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. Any clarifications, any doubts, participants? Our convener has joined, I think. I request our convener, Dr. R.S. Abinin, to say a few words.
Hello, yes, ma'am. Just now I joined.
Yes, sir. Any more queries? So now I hand over to Professor. Yes, Professor Shanti.
This is Shanti, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
As usual, your presentation was very good. Nice pictures. You have inserted a very good, interesting pictures in between. The session was very interesting, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You can carry over and you can just tell us something about the tomorrow's session, and if not, any other queries from the participant side after your just 2-3 words speak, we can wind up.
Yes, ma'am. I must thank the participants also because they were very active and they are able to answer all the queries posted by Dr. Gayatri. And tomorrow's session, I'm going to handle that support your image compression techniques. Let us watch tomorrow. I'll request all the participants to be on time tomorrow at around 10:50 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We have to thank all our management, our principal, our HR.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible, ma'am. Gayatri, ma'am.
For attending this session. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear? Can you hear me, ma'am?
Now it's clear, ma'am. Ma'am? Gayatri, ma'am? Gayatri, ma'am, we can't hear
Shanti,
you.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Are you able to hear me, ma'am?
Now you are audible.
Yes, ma'am. I was just thanking you.
But it was not audible, ma'am. Now also it is broken. I think there is some network issues with ma'am.
Coordinators. Professor Shanti, you can ask our convener to wind up or?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Sir, shall we wind up the session, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you for your interactive and wonderful participation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.